If you have flat feet and you have pain in the foot, ankle, knee, or back, or you have repetitive ankle sprains that you're getting because of your flat feet, then these 5 exercises that I'm about to go through will help you to fix this issue. Make sure you stick to the end because I'm going to go through my thoughts on arch supports. Let's begin. Hello, my name's Dr. Stephen. I'm a chiropractor from Reading, and I'm going to begin this video by first going through what causes flat feet, because it's not until we know the cause that we can implement an effective program to treat the problem. So what causes flat feet is a bit of a complex issue. It's a combination of many structures that fall apart to create what we call flat feet, or otherwise known as a fallen arch. So one of the structures that go wrong are the ligaments, specifically the spring ligament that's located in the arch of your foot, as well as the ligament that goes along the sole of your foot that we call the plantar fascia. This ligament or fascia is the structure that gets aggravated and painful in plantar fascia. If you want to see my video on plantar fasciitis, then check it out here. But this is also involved with a fallen arch or a flat foot, because this is a structure along with a spring ligament that maintains the arch, maintains the structure and integrity of the foot. And if these ligaments get overstretched, then you start to get the flat feet. Now, the other aspect, important aspect, are the muscles surrounding the foot. The muscles are designed to keep the arch in its place and to provide strength and support to the ligaments. The main muscle that does this is the tibialis posterior, that's located behind your leg near your knee and travels down the back of your calf, deep behind your gastrocs, and attaches onto your arch. The contraction of this muscle will help to bring the arch up, but also it will bring your foot down. When this muscle becomes dysfunctional, it loses its strength and ability to be able to hold up your arch, and then it starts to fall, puts pressure on the ligaments. Now the question is, and this is a debated topic, what causes what? Is it the ligament stretching that causes a dysfunction within the muscles, or is it a weakness, a dysfunction within the muscles that causes then an overstretching of the ligaments? Quite often I think it's a combination of both, but the area that we can certainly address are the muscles. If you can strengthen the muscles around the arch and get more support around the area, you can take the pressure off the ligaments, and over time those ligaments can then begin to shorten again. This is a difficult problem to overcome, and it does require a lot of discipline with these exercises over a period of time to battle this problem, but it certainly is an issue that can be fixed. Before we go into the exercises, the first thing I'll recommend is to get your foot and ankle checked by somebody like a chiropractor who can check the joints and the muscles for function. You want to ensure that there isn't any misalignments within the joints and you've got proper motion within the joints of your foot and ankle to give yourself the best chance of these exercises actually working. So let's get straight into them. The first one is called pen penny. And as the name suggests, what you're going to need is a pen and a penny. You're going to put the penny underneath the ball of your foot, and you're going to put the pen underneath the arch of your foot. What you're going to do with this one is you're going to squeeze the penny to the floor. So you're going to put pressure through the ball of your foot, but you're going to lift the arch of your foot and take it off the pen. This will result in a scrunching up or shortening of your foot, which will activate the muscles that are designed to bring the arch up. This at the beginning is going to be more of a brain training type of exercise, because for a lot of people it's very hard to move your foot in specific ways just because you're not used to it. You don't have the dexterity in your foot like you do in your hands. So the first thing you're going to have to do is try and get used to moving a foot in this specific way, which is why I think the pen and the penny is very useful. Once you're contracting these muscles, you get into the top. Once the arch is off the pen and the pressure is on the penny, then hold for a couple of seconds and then slowly bring it down. With this exercise, you want to do it as slow as you can, and you repeat 5 to 10 times or basically depending on how well you can do it and the strength that you got. You might find you get a little bit of fatigue at the beginning, but over time you'll be able to then get rid of that and you'll be able to do more and more. So you want to do as many as you can without overdoing it, particularly in the muscles. The second exercise, you're going to need a TheraBand or some kind of resistance band that you can put around your forefoot. So what you're going to do with the band is make sure it's tied in a loop. You're going to hook one end around something that's stable, like a chair leg or a table leg, and then you're going to put the other one around your forefoot, so in the middle of your foot. You're then going to push your foot, so turn your foot inwards, which is then going to contract your tibialis posterior, and then you're going to hold it there for a couple of seconds and then slowly bring it back. Particularly on the way back, you want to do it really slowly. And repeat this again about 10 times. And I would suggest doing 2 or 3 sets, but work your way up. Start low and work your way up over the preceding weeks as you start to get more strength within that area. The third exercise is going to be an eccentric calf raise. One of the functions of the tibialis posterior is that it brings your foot downwards. It brings it into plantar flexion. So what we're going to do here is what we call an eccentric exercise, which is when we are putting the muscle under tension at the same time as lengthening it. So what you're going to do is find a ledge or a step. You're going to put the toes onto that step, and then starting from the top position, you're going to slowly lower your heel to the ground. You're then going to put your other leg on the floor and then put yourself back into that top position and again lower yourself to the ground. So it's all about the lowering part and not really about the raising part. That's going to get an eccentric contraction in the tibialis posterior, activating this muscle and then over time strengthening it. Again, I would do around 10 reps and around 2 or 3 sets, but again, work your way up. I would suggest repeating this on both sides, and with all these exercises, try and do them both sides, even if you don't have a problem on both sides, because the body likes to work in symmetry. The fourth exercise is designed to improve proprioception within your foot and ankle. And what you're going to do here is simply stand on one leg with your eyes closed. You should be able to hold this for around 1 minute. If you can't do this for at least 1 minute, then over the next preceding weeks, you want to work yourself up to be able to do 1 minute on both sides. Make sure the eyes are closed and make sure you're in an area that if you do fall, you're not going to hurt yourself. So you could always do this in a corner so that if you do fall, then at least you got the walls to take the fall. Then the fifth and final exercise is going to be walking, but barefoot. So obviously you're not going to be able to do this so much outside, particularly in the winter and particularly in areas that you might be stepping on something sharp. But certainly around the house, that's the perfect opportunity to get your feet out. One of the problems about shoes is that as soon as you put your foot within the shoe, the small muscles within your foot tend to turn off. This is why we need to have some times within our day where our feet are outside of our shoes, so you can start to activate some of the small muscles within your foot. And at home, that is a perfect opportunity, because assuming your house is safe from sharp objects, it's a pretty safe time to do it. And it's also fairly warm as opposed to outside. But any opportunity you get to walk barefoot, then I would suggest doing so. If you're not used to getting your feet out of your shoes, then start slow again. These muscles could get very easily get fatigued, so don't go for very long walks in bare feet if you have never done that before. Then lastly, as promised, I was going to discuss arch supports. Arch supports theoretically will improve the arch of your foot, but only when you're wearing them, which has an effect on the structures going higher up, because one of the problems with a flat foot or fallen arch is it affects the structures going up because the angles are going to change, which makes your knee go inwards and your hip turn inwards, which can then affect everything going up from your foot upwards. Putting an arch support in can temporarily affect this and change and restore the position of the structures going up as well as your foot, and take the stress off the ligaments. The problem with arch supports is that you're not strengthening these muscles. You're actually going to turn off some muscles that were giving you some stability in this area, and so long term it's not necessarily going to help you. If you are going to wear arch supports, make sure that you're at the same time strengthening your muscles, and I certainly wouldn't wear them for long periods of time. If you need to do something that you know that's going to cause stress within this area or pain within your arch, then it might be a good idea to wear those arch supports for that specific task. But make sure you're always training your feet, your muscles in your feet in the meantime. The research on this area does show that there is some improvement in people's pain levels when wearing arch supports, but again, as soon as you take them off, you might be in a worse position than before. This is why I have to stress to do it with short periods of time and make sure you're strengthening those muscles. It's the same reason why it's not a good idea to wear the posture support for long periods of time, because you're turning off the muscles that you would otherwise be using. If you want to check out my video on the posture support, then check it out here. I hope that is helpful. With these exercises, you do have to do them very diligently and you have to be disciplined to do them almost every day for a long period of time. This is not going to be fixed overnight, so you do need that discipline. I hope this has been useful. Please do remember to subscribe for new videos like this one twice a week. I'm passionate about helping people to optimize their health and living pain-free. Otherwise, have a good rest of your day and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.